stop helping homeless people. I didn't say it. This guy did. Arthur Greenwood, with 9.15K subscribers. I guess we're giving him a platform of sorts, alas. You know, he put it out here. I figured that I would give it an honest look and just see what my man's here has to say about helping homeless people and why we should not do it. I have an open mind on this, okay? Maybe he's got a good point, so let's hear him out. This was a suggestion from the Juicebox in the Discord server. Dubsy likes to leave a QR code on the screen, or you can join the Discord server by clicking the link in the description below. Leave your suggestions in the Juicebox channel, and I may or may not go over them. I have been neglecting the Juicebox quite a bit, so I apologize, especially to people like Jimmy Mikes and Leonard. Leonard or Leonard? Those two particularly have been leaving a lot of suggestions. I will try to go through more of them. I just have been kind of focused on discussions because I like the back and forth these days. So that being said, this is also a form of communication. This is also a type of discussion that you can have with somebody. So let's hear him out. Why we should stop helping homeless people. Let's go.
I work at this restaurant. It's a beautiful place. Organic, local food, trees, picnic tables. But when I first started there in high school, I was the janitor. And my job was to clean the bathrooms. One day, I walked in to clean the customer bathroom, and as soon as
You know what he looks like? He looks like Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus. Jax always has, like, yellow behind him. It gives a very, like, menacing aura. Or, like, a warning sign. Like, it's, in a manner of speaking, a red flag, even though it's yellow, I guess. Like, it kind of gives the same... It's giving very... I can see Jax here being like, yeah, no, we shouldn't help the homeless. I don't know. That's a very loose association, but that's what I thought of.
As I opened the door, there was this disgusting, reeking smell of human feces. Someone had completely ruined the bathroom.
Oh, no.
There was toilet paper all over the floor,
That's not good.
dirty underwear stuffed in the trash can, and they hadn't even bothered to flush. I later figured out that the culprit was this one creepy old homeless lady who would always wander into the restaurant. Every single time, she made a giant mess in the bathroom. It wasn't just her. Homeless people were always wandering in, playing loud music, scaring away the customers, leaving heroin needles in the kids' playground. One time, my coworker found a pile of human shit on the floor. It was disgusting. The left wants us to feel really bad for homeless people.
Well, they're not doing this for fun, man. It's not like they want to infect people with AIDS by leaving, like children with AIDS by leaving their needles on the playground. Gee, maybe if we had more public sharps receptacles, you know, give them a place to put the needles, and then they won't leave them strewn about on the playground. Has anybody ever actually considered that? Like, make it easier for them to put needles in a proper disposable place than it is to just leave them on the playground for some kid to pick up and give themselves AIDS.
Left wants us to feel really bad for homeless people. They're just victims of capitalism and racism. We just need to give them more food stamps and welfare checks. How dare you try to keep them from camping at your business? How dare you put up...
Okay, what's the alternative, man? What's the alternative? I don't want them to camp outside the restaurant that I like to go into when I'm treating my wife. You're right. When I get all gussied up, put on my little cologne spray, and my wife puts on makeup the few times that she does that, okay? And we go out for a nice fancy dinner, I don't want some homeless guy sitting out there begging for money. It kind of puts a damper on my night. You're right. But I also don't think that we should drive him out of the town for him to die somewhere else. So my argument is, yes, we have a common goal. Get rid of that guy on the street. I don't want to see him there anymore. You know where I do want to see him? Some public housing. I'd like him to have a nice roof over his head, some food in his gullet, some health care, and in our current state of affairs, a job. Okay? Let's start there.
Anti-homeless benches. But I guarantee if those same leftists worked one day at my job and actually had to deal with homeless people, they would feel the same way. Just know that while you're virtue signaling about anti-homeless architecture, your sisters are too scared to walk on the street alone. Just this year, I was walking through downtown Grand Rapids, and I had to walk past this gang of like 7 homeless people. And I kid you not, this one homeless lady holds up a bag of feces and starts yelling, "You want some dookie? You want some dookie?" No, thank you, ma'am. I do not want some dookie. I want you to be arrested.
You know what you should kill her. You should kill her.
Local businesses complain about losing customers. I mean, would you want to park near here to shop? Residents complain about homeless people stealing from them. Neighbors...
What was that transition?
I mean...
You want some... I do not want some dookie. I want you to be arrested.
Local businesses complain about losing customers. I mean, would you want to park near here to...
I don't understand this transition. Why are we getting a drone's eye view of like a gross-looking field on a highway underpass?
Shop? Residents complain about homeless people stealing from them. Neighbors complain about loud noise and trash.
You should kill them.
Some say helping the homeless is backfiring.
But Arthur, these people need our help. The leftist idea of helping people is literally just throwing money at them. That's all it is.
Okay, and your idea of solving the problem is throwing them in cages like animals.
And if you've ever talked to a homeless person, it should be obvious that money is not the issue.
Slow down. Get out of there. Everything's stolen.
So money's not the issue, so we should give them free mental health care, right? They should get health care for free. They should get mental health care for free, right? Oh, no, wait, that's communism, my bad.
Who's been stealing your thoughts? And they put everything. Did you ever read?
Honestly, I'm giving them too much credit. You can have the IQ of a pigeon and still get a job at a Subway or a gas station. All you have to do is show up to work and do the bare necessities.
You go do it then. Oh, if it's so easy, you go do it. Go try being a Subway worker for like a week. Just apply, get the job, work there for a week, and quit. Go try it. See how easy it is.
You don't even have to be friendly, but I guarantee most homeless people haven't even tried to apply because at the end of the day, they'd rather just do drugs on the street. I personally...
Yeah, homeless people famously, people love being addicted to drugs. It's their favorite thing to admit and talk about is how addicted they are to drugs.
Know of 2 homeless people.
Well, I guess if you're a Zoomer, that's kind of true as it pertains particularly to marijuana. But in general, people don't like admitting that they're an addict.
And they both
don't like being
that they chose that lifestyle.
Why don't you get a job? If you're so hungry, why don't you get a job? Listen, what's your name? Al. Get a goddamn job, Al.
I do want to make it clear, there are some homeless people who just genuinely get screwed over.
Why are we in a different location now? We have another setup. Wait. Oh, no. You collect Trolls dolls? Oh, listen, I don't want to shit on a man's passion. That's kind of wild. The American Psycho ideation. I'd say if we just decriminalize use, they could put it in trash cans in plain sight. Not trash cans. You don't want trash cans. Needles are disposed of in the proper receptacles, okay? If you get caught throwing needles on a children's playground, right, or in the trash can even, I believe that there should be some action taken against you. Or at least you should get a warning. Make it inconvenient for them to put it somewhere that it should not be. But yeah, this is an interesting change of scenery here. I don't know why we're looking at the Trolls dolls in the background now. But clearly he's not embarrassed of it. Like, he likes the Trolls. That's kind of endearing. It's kind of endearing, now that I'm over, like, the initial creepiness of the Trolls themselves.
I mean, if you're some Pakistani immigrant who can't speak English or some disabled veteran, you can't just pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You really cannot get a good job. And people like that, disabled people or crazy people or children, people who really cannot take care of themselves, we as a society should absolutely take care of. I'm fully in support of free food and housing for these people. But the media tries to pretend that all homeless people are like that. They'll place...
You're means testing. No, you're prioritizing making sure that the people who don't deserve it, in your view, the people who don't deserve it don't get it. What I would ask this guy, the question I would ask this guy, and if you happen to see this, since you're a smaller creator than me, and you might, if you see this, here's my question for you, and I want you to answer honestly. If you could press a button, and that would give all the homeless people free housing and food, right? Or, how do I want to ask this? Let me think for a second. Would you, here it is. Would you rather nobody get anything? We keep the status quo. Or you could press a button and all the homeless people get the shit that they need, right? Or need, quote unquote, according to your ideology. All the homeless people get houses and food and free healthcare. Okay? All the ones that do legitimately need it in your eyes and all the ones that don't legitimately need it in your eyes. Which world would you rather have? Okay? That would be my question. Because right now it sounds like you'd rather have the former. You're fine with these homeless people being on the streets because most of them deserve it, right? Okay? Well, then you're sacrificing the veterans, the immigrants who can't speak English, the children, all those other people, the crazy people. You're sacrificing them at the altar of making sure that the homeless people who do deserve it get what's coming to them.
Segments like The Truth About Homelessness in America, and they'll always interview the most articulate, sympathetic homeless guy they can find, who's a veteran who just...
Okay, I've worked with homeless people, man. I work drug addiction. I'm doing my rotations in drug addiction, okay? Many of them are very articulate. Many of them do genuinely want to pick themselves up and get moving with their lives, okay? They just can't. They don't have the fucking resources to do it. They come in and they say, what am I supposed to do? What am I to tell them? Get over it? Figure it out? With what?
America, and they'll always interview the most articulate, sympathetic homeless guy they can find, who's a veteran who just couldn't work because he...
As opposed to me, who has clips like, you know, use a Simpsons clip.
Slow down. Get out of there. Every cock stole every idea I ever had. He came into my room.
They're the ones propagandizing, not me.
Who's a veteran who just couldn't work because he doesn't have legs. Again, we should take care of people like that, but those people are a minority.
But not if it comes with taking care of people who do have legs. They all get to suffer. All of them together.
For every disabled veteran, there's 24 lazy crackhead bums. You know this. I know this. Anyone who's dealt with homeless people knows this damn well.
We can't solve the problem in his mind because solving the problem means that people who don't deserve these things get them anyway. That's why we can't solve the problem, right, man? That's insane.
Those people, for the bums, giving them free stuff just encourages laziness and enables their lifestyle. We need to drive them out of our cities so they stop trashing the streets and ruining public spaces.
Drive them out of the city to go where? Where do they go? F off to the desert to die? Just say you want to kill them. Seriously, just say you want to kill them.
We need to build public housing.
Okay, we're back here.
In theory, if we had like infinite money to spare, I would be okay with that. But as our libertarian friends remind us, nothing is...
Oh, we're so poor. Poor United States of America. We have no money to do it. By the way, we're the richest nation on the earth.
Ever really free. Free public housing would cost millions of taxpayer dollars. Dollars that my family and your family could have spent on our own needs. If you want to spend your money building...
You seem to have everything that you need and then some, man. Okay? I guarantee you don't need that pop figurine of Gandalf the Grey back there. You don't need that. So you have everything that you need. Okay? And you will continue to have everything that you need. When we have public housing for homeless people, you will still get the things that you need to survive. I promise. Okay? But until those people have food in their mouths, you don't get the Gandalf pop. Okay? If it comes down to it, they get what they need before you get what you want, period.
Public housing, by all means, feel free. But I don't want to rob the middle...
This guy had another video where he said slavery wasn't so bad for black people because white people were taking care of them in return for their labor. Yeah, that sounds about right up his alley.
...class of their hard-earned money to build shacks for lazy, stupid criminals. It probably won't even help them that much. They'll probably just destroy the shacks in a few weeks, and they'll still spend their days doing drugs.
They're just animals.
I know a guy who worked at a homeless shelter, and he said that every night, all the homeless people would go out and wander the streets, stealing and looting the city. Giving these people a slightly nicer place to sleep will not fix their lives and turn them into...
Yeah, you know what will? Mental health care. Okay, give them free mental health care. Can we agree on that at least? They can't afford the mental health care. We agree that there's something psychologically wrong with them because apparently they're up every house that they live in. It's not like they want to destroy houses unless you just think that they want to destroy houses because they're like a plague, okay? Here's what it comes down to. This guy, I don't even need to watch the rest of this, I will, but this guy thinks that homeless people are a plague. This is classic dehumanization. He doesn't even think they're people, okay? He doesn't. And I challenge him to prove me wrong on that.
Productive members of society. It's just not their nature. There's an ongoing Supreme Court case.
Not their nature. He just proved my point. Look.
Turn them into productive members of society. It's just not their nature.
That's insane to say, brother. You know what your nature is? Being an asshole. Okay? Sorry, brother. That's just in your nature. I don't know if I can change you. Like, that's insane to say. What do you mean it's just in their nature? People change all the time.
There's an ongoing Supreme Court case where a town in Oregon started fining homeless people for camping in public parks. And the left is just furious. This is a violation of...
I'm sorry I keep pausing. How the f are fines on homeless people? Think about that for 2 seconds. We're going to fine the homeless. Problem solved, I guess.
Human rights. This is cruel and unusual punishment.
It's not even about it being cruel and unusual punishment. It's how the f do you make that work? They have no money to give you. What is the fine accomplishing? It's just an extra step before taking their ass to prison for not paying the fine. Just say that you want to throw them in cages like animals, or else kill them.
Sorry, I like my city, and I don't want druggies leaving tents and trash all over our public parks. I don't want them roaming around shooting heroin and harassing people.
He's owned his auto repair shop here for 30 years, the last 5 of which, he says, have been miserable.
I think we all feel like we've been under siege since probably 2016.
Watch says since the homeless started setting up camp right across the street, there have been no fewer than 127 break-in attempts at his shop. It got so bad a few years ago, he dubbed his neighborhood Tweakerville and started streaming its activities on YouTube. He says the camp is killing business.
And what we find is that people drive by. They've checked our references. They've checked our reviews. Everything looks great. They know what our quality level is. When they drive into the area, they just keep driving.
I can already see all the leftists in the comments like...
The poor business owner. Have you considered the plight of the poor business owner, guys? Think about it.
Sweetie, that's not very Christ-like of you. Don't you know that Jesus was a socialist? He said that you have to give money to widows and orphans. Of course, they're right that almsgiving has always been part of Christianity, but you have to understand that this was a completely different time. It wasn't like today.
Oh, see, times have changed. So have morals. If Jesus were alive today, he would not stand for that. No. He would be on the side of the business owner. You see, he'd be like watching Tweakerville videos and being on podcasts talking about how like the homeless people need to be driven out of the cities. That's what my Jesus would be doing in today's era.
Today, where 55% of homeless people abuse alcohol, 25% abuse drugs. Of course, those are only the ones who admit it, so the numbers are probably higher. 68% of cities found that substance abuse.
Wait, only the ones who admit it? Interesting. So you almost say that as though it's like not a desirable thing to admit or want. Like it's almost like being an addict is a bad thing, and people don't want that actually. Well, if they don't want it, maybe we should find ways to help them, right? Oh, no, just tell them to piss off to the desert and starve to death.
This was the largest cause of homelessness for single adults. If you tossed a homeless person a coin in 30 AD, you could be pretty sure they'd spend it on bread. There wasn't disability pay and social safety nets back in 30 AD, so most of the homeless people were widows and orphans and lepers. In the modern...
There's no getting through to this guy right now because in his mind, homeless people are simply animals who cannot control their impulses, okay? And until he undoes that horrific knot in his brain, there's no making headway. Brother, homeless people are people just like you and me, okay? You are closer to being homeless than you are to being Elon Musk. Did you know that? So am I, okay? Anything could just happen. Your house could burn down tomorrow. And then what? You know? Like, don't you want some kind of system in place whereby you can then go and live somewhere else? You know, not everybody has insurance. So, like, they can't afford it because they're homeless. How do we actually solve this? Your answer is to just tell them to piss off. Like, I need to talk to this guy like one-on-one because like I need to understand where you're coming from, because right now it just sounds like you think homeless people are like bugs. They're like an infestation that we must drive out or else kill. That's what it sounds like to me.
World, if you want to give alms, which you should, don't just hand out money on the street. Give it to reliable charities that will buy surgeries for kids in Africa and stuff. A lot of people ask, well, what about buying food for homeless people? What about soup kitchens? And this is coming from a good place. The problem is that even just giving them food makes the bum lifestyle easier, which incentivizes more people to do it.
Okay. You just got done saying that if you give like a coin to a guy in Jesus's time, he's going to go spend it on bread. You basically just gave that guy food, okay? But now your argument is don't give them food. What? You just advocated for homeless people getting food. What? Like your own worldview, like what are you talking about? Do you listen to yourself? Did you reread this script once or twice? Like you're poking holes in your own argument. I think this guy needs some mental help, if I'm being honest.
You may think that's ridiculous. Who would choose to do drugs on the street all day rather than work? But I actually know a woman whose brother is voluntarily homeless. He actually chose that lifestyle because he wanted to do drugs and not work. His family has given him money. They've done everything they can. I mean, his sister's a lawyer. It's not like he didn't have
we should kill him.
Opportunities.
Just
and his family says they wish people would stop buying him food, because that just enables his self-destructive lifestyle.
Yeah, just kill him. Just let him starve to death.
The fact that someone is homeless is a pretty good indicator that they aren't good with money. Maybe they won't spend it on drugs, but honestly, the odds aren't great. Best case scenario, he uses it to buy a healthy, nutritious meal. But even then, all you've done is prolong his miserable, drug-addled existence by a few hours.
Yeah,
These
so just
people
kill him.
contribute
Do a mercy killing. Just
nothing to society. They ruin a lot of nice places, and we as a civilization cannot tolerate them anymore. Unleash the cops, take back the streets, like the video, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. God bless America.
Take back.
Good Lord. God bless America. Specifically the God that wants to kill the homeless people. That God. That's the God that I worship. My name's Arthur Greenwood. Arthur, if any of this seemed uncharitable, I'm sorry, okay? I'm not out here to try to twist your words into something they're not. But the only conclusion that we lead to with your logic, there are two conclusions. One, you box them like animals, okay? The other is you kill them. Those are the two conclusions that we lead to with your logic. Because as you said, it is not in a homeless person's nature to want to change. They simply like doing drugs. They simply like tearing up houses. They simply like toting up bags of shit and asking if people want dookie, okay? That's their favorite pastime, apparently. And no amount of therapy or giving them money or anything that we can possibly do for them is going to fix them. They are simply a blight. So the only options we're left with is cage them or kill them. Okay? I think that's wrong. And if you think that that what I've just said is unreasonable, or that I'm trying to say, put words in your mouth or anything like that, feel free to hit me up. Okay? I do debates all the time with people like you, and I would love to talk to you and try to break down why this worldview is so horrific, like just abysmal. Like honest, I don't think you're a bad person deep down. I don't think that you want people to die or be caged like animals. So like, why are you talking like this? This isn't you, man. This ain't it. You can do better than this. I believe in you. Hit me up. We'll talk. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs, or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.